Primetime local news, serving the Lakeland and Midwest regions.
Welcome to Primetime Local News. Sun was shining for us today. It was really nice. We got a good show for you here this Thursday, and Connor is filling in for Ag once again. And he's talking about a grant that Saskatchewan farmers can get.
Well, it's a tax credit more so that Saskatchewan producers can get, but yeah, it's offered by the Saskatchewan government, so your Sask producer will tell you how you can get that grant or credit.
Credit, awesome. Yeah, and Josh is going to be talking Bobcats. Kaiser, sorry, rather.
Good correction.
Good correction. I got it. I saw the look in your eye. We a friend of the show, so he talked to him for sports.
Yeah, no, Zach Kaiser, last season with the Bobcats, already off to a good start. They're really depending on him to have a big season, so got to chat a little bit about what he's done this summer to get himself prepared.
All right, great. Thank you, Josh. We look forward to both those stories, but first we're going to toss it over to Stacy for a look at your news.
Thanks very much, Michaela. Despite an appeal from Manitoba, the federal government will not pay Greyhound to keep operating in Western Canada for a few more months. The company's plans to pull out of the region at the end of October. Manitoba was hoping Ottawa would ask Greyhound to extend service by at least 60 days to allow other businesses to fill the cancelled routes. The Assembly of Manitoba Chiefs is expressing alarm about the cancelled routes, cutting off people who need affordable transportation for health services. Well, the Energy Centre in Cold Lake Phase 3 expansion is nearing completion, and they are already looking ahead to Phase 4. Brittany Matika has the story.
The Energy Centre now includes a second skating rink, a climbing wall, office space, a lounge, and a conference room.
The facility is already active. We did push it to get an opening in order to have minor hockey to get on the ice, and with all the programming that's happening for the winter conversion already. But the full facility should be open in the next couple of weeks.
Nagoya says the $23 million project was financed by the city.
This was a top priority for the city. Of course, all phases is basically similar in terms of the build out. Council has a vision and they want to carry it forward. It's difficult to start building reserves over a long period of time, so Council just wants to make sure that the investment strategy is there and being able to finance it. Whatever we don't have in terms of cash, we do finance the project in terms of debt financing.
The new facilities are all slated to be officially open to the public by the second week of October.
There is future opportunities, such as the Catholic school has interest to building a new high school at the Cold Lake Energy Centre in this Imperial Park area. And then also the pool, the aquatic centre has been conceptually designed in the spaces that are by. Our tour showed that we already have grading going on for those areas.
Nagoya says Phase 4 will depend upon budget considerations, and he isn't sure when the city will get started on the next expansion. Brittany Matika, Primetime Local News.
The finance critic for Alberta's official opposition party was in Lloydminster last night to discuss issues for the provincial budget.
Albertans are looking for the opportunity to have change and a chance to be the leader in Canada again.
Lloydminster was his fifth stop on a tour across the province to discuss economic issues with regular Albertans. He says some of the top issues people are voicing include the carbon tax, the deficit, healthcare wait times, and the success of pipeline projects.
And the hope is the fact that they know Albertans can pull ourselves out of it. It's just a matter of the right policy, the right government direction.
The finance critic reiterated the UCP's commitment to protect frontline service workers and social programs if elected. He will be in Fort McMurray this evening before he finishes his tour in Edmonton and Grand Prairie. The drive-in movie theater that took place at the Lloydminster Mall successfully raised more than $1,300 for the rescue squad. The money raised will be going to a general operations fund. This year raised lower than last year, but the squad believes it was because of the cooler weather.
We're excited to have it again, and we'll maybe just get a little bit of the weather than what we've had. So, but even though we had, it was a little cool, we had a great turnout, and we're pretty happy that everyone did show up for that film. So, thank you.
The drive-in movie theater is expected to continue next year if everything goes according to plan. And let's check with the weather forecast. Let's head over to Michaela.
Thanks, Stacy. We did have some sunshine today, but it's not going to be sticking around too long, unfortunately. Cloud cover and mostly sunshine here, currently sitting at 5 degrees. records for this day back in the past. 23 degrees back in 1995 and then -9 in 2002. Just want to show our satellite radar from the last couple of hours. Not a whole lot of action, just a lot of cloud cover coming in, but a lot of those places that we're seeing that it should dissipate throughout the evening. And then a little bit of snow and precipitation, but nothing affecting our area. What is affecting our area, though, is a frost advisory. As you can see, pretty much the entire map is blue right now, which means all of these areas are under a frost advisory. So do keep that in mind, especially when we factor in the wind into our overnight. It is going to feel much cooler than those overnight lows. North Battleford, currently sunshine and a high of 4 degrees. Winds coming out of the north, 21 kilometers an hour, could reach up to 40 kilometers an hour a little bit later into the evening, which means overnight going to feel more like -8. And then tomorrow, a high of 7, cloudy, and a little bit of sunshine there. Cold Lake, currently cloudy and a little bit of sunshine peeking through, only a high of 4. Winds coming out of the northwest. Overnight dipping down to -3. Going to feel like more like -5 in the Cold Lake area, also under that frost advisory. Tomorrow going to warm back up just a little bit, up to 7 degrees as we move to Lloydminster. -2 overnight. Going to feel like more like -9 in the Lloydminster area, going to a high of only 7 tomorrow. -2 is your low for tomorrow. Saturday, very cloudy, and this is going to continue into the beginning of next week. 3 degrees, -3 for your low, and then Sunday, same story, just a little bit of sunshine, only 3 degrees, -7 for the low. Do factor in the wind, those minuses or those lows are going to feel much cooler. But now we're going to toss it over to Brittany, who's down at Sip and Savor.
Sip and Savor is underway, and I'm back at the pickup booth where everyone is coming in to pick up their tickets, and there are still some tickets available. Isn't that right, Catlin?
There's a very limited number left, but we do have a few on hand, yes.
So if you are sitting at home right now and you want to come out and get involved in Sip and Savor, they just have to come down here and they can purchase their tickets and pick them up.
Yeah, so tickets are $25, and for $25 you get 4 tokens to use at the 8 participating restaurants downtown.
And now what kinds of things are people able to sip and savor tonight?
Well, we've got a few options. I know that the Wine Outfitters is savoring 3 different kinds of wine. The Root is doing a coffee with a delicious chocolate cake, and I believe East Market is doing a spring roll.
Wow, I mean, all of that sounds delicious, and it is a beautiful night out here.
It really is. We really locked out. A few weeks ago we had snow, and I know that was hard for ticket sales, but now it's really turned around, and it's beautiful.
And there's lots of people milling around on the streets, and all of the businesses are staying open until 10 p.m. tonight, including lots of the things that aren't offering food or drink items. If you just want to come in and take a browse and walk around, it's a beautiful fall evening. But right now we're going to head back over to the studio and check in with them.
Turning to agriculture news, Saskatchewan producers can now access a tax credit on capital costs for value-added facilities. In this week's agriculture report, Gerard Lampel finds out how this government incentive aims to attract foreign investments.
Whether shovels hit the ground for construction or expansion of value-added ag processing facilities, producers having that entrepreneurial talent can benefit from a 15% tax credit on capital costs. The Saskatchewan government has a fresh take on fostering downstream ag industries.
The Saskatchewan Value-Added Agriculture Incentive is an incentive for producers who get a 15% capital income tax reduction on value-added production facilities in Saskatchewan used either in new or existing facilities.
Producers with projects meeting the minimum criteria of $10 million could benefit from the application process.
We help them connect them both with either industrial parks or developers who have more of the information on what land's available. We help them connect them maybe with Crown corporations like SaskPower and TransGas to get more information on hookups, but we work with our colleagues over at Agriculture who might have more resources available for them to utilize.
Westgard points out agriculture is a leading contributor to GDP and exports, so value-added processing is a foot in to growing the economy.
Saskatchewan has a lot to offer. We do a great job in growing the product, and now we're going to try to diversify the economy, adding jobs and investment into the rural areas and urban areas of Saskatchewan to see more value-added processing such as pea processing, oat milling, malt producers, and canola oil.
To qualify, producers need to show that capital expenditures were made to develop new production or expand existing operations. Once the facility is running, the benefit is at 20% in year 1, 30% in year 2, and 50% in year 3. Westgard sees the new deal as developing other areas like pea protein, cannabis, or even waste byproducts into a new commodity. It mirrors the success story of canola.
The idea for the tax incentives is to get into new areas which we historically haven't been processing in. We've done a great job in canola, but we know there's more raw product in Saskatchewan that can be value-added processed.
Applications are being accepted over the next 4 years up to December 31st, 2022. Gerard Lampow, Primetime Local News.
This Ag Report is brought to you by the Lloydminster Co-op Agro Centre. Depend on them for product, tools, and expert advice. Shop at your local Lloyd Co-op Agro Centre with branch locations in Lashburn and Neilburg.
An international organization of beef producers is calling for trade reforms, including the removal of tariffs. The International Beef Alliance includes producers in Canada, Australia, Brazil, Mexico, New Zealand, and the United States. The alliance says with an increasingly disruptive global trade environment, it's important to have a rule-based trading system that is transparent and based on science. Members say they are wary of the potential challenges that Brexit may present to the United Kingdom and the European Union. The alliance is also calling for countries to drop unscientific and unjustified impediments to trade. Well, Manitoba's latest crop report says the soybean harvest is about 30% complete, up from 20% last week. Manitoba pulse and soybean growers say yields range anywhere from 25 to 55 bushels per acre. And despite the cool, rainy conditions, many farmers are making progress with the grain corn harvest. Manitoba Agriculture says corn yields are lower than average that range between 80 and 120 bushels per acre. The province estimates total grain corn harvest progress at least 5% completed. Well, that's it for Agriculture News. Sports is next, but first, let's take a look at your ag prices.
City Center Auto Body is proud to offer the paintless dent removal system. This works by going behind the panel, working out small dents. Lloydminster's trusted auto body shop for over 35 years.
Thank you, Connor. For the Bobcats to have success this season, veteran forward Zach Kaiser will need an extended version of how he finished last campaign. The 20-year-old center is hoping for big things after a summer of hard work, and based on his first 5 games, it's safe to say he's trending upward. Forward Zach Kaiser's shootout tally last weekend is a good sign in this young AJHL campaign. A veteran leader delivering when called upon and continuing the momentum of scoring 31 points in the second half of last season.
Last year he had a slow start and he ended up real strong, so if he can have a strong start and carry through right through the year, it should be a real good year for him.
Going into his final year with the Bobcats, Kaiser has worked hard to improve his speed and strength.
Staying on the ice, trying to get, obviously faster, and then the same thing, getting in the gym, getting stronger, getting bigger. Right? You're always pushing to be, bigger than you are, stronger than you are.
Yeah, I think obviously by watching him out there, he's gotten a lot stronger. That's going to help him. He's quick.
What will help the centerman take on added responsibilities this season is the increased skill and drive throughout the lineup.
There's a lot of guys who want it this year, a lot more than I think last year, and I think that's going to, set us a little higher than over the top from where we were last year, and be pushing to do something this year.
Kaiser plans to continue playing hockey after this season, possibly at the post-secondary level, but isn't making any hard decisions on that until his business as a Bobcat is done.
I'm hoping college, that's kind of my goal. You know, got to work hard at the start of the season here and see where it goes from there kind of thing.
The Bobcats are in action this weekend in Camrose at the Lloydminster, or the AJHL Showcase, rather. Now let's head over to Brittany Matika at the Lloydminster Wine Outfitters.
I'm at Lloyd Wine Outfitters, and I'm joined by Nicole, and we were just talking about if you're looking for some wine, and you have to start making it now if you want to get it ready for Christmas time.
Yep, absolutely. Our countdown to Christmas here is on at Lloyd Wine Outfitters. Deadline actually starts tomorrow and then goes through till November 16th is your deadline to have wine home in time for the holidays.
And tonight with Sip and Savor, we are being able to taste 3 different wines. There's a red, a white, and you said a fruity one.
Yes, we have 3 different wines we're showcasing here this night. We have a Cranberry Melback. At the White Station, we have a Pacific Quartet, which is a blend of 4 different grapes. Fantastic, backed by popular demand. And then at our red table, we have a Sangiovese, which is basically like a Chianti, nice blended red wine.
So 1 ticket would get you a sample of all 3. All 3, which is a great deal for you little wine lovers at home. Yeah. But now we were talking about, you know, you can come in here and you can make your own wine.
Absolutely. So you just basically come in. We have over 120 wines from all around the world for you to make. They take anywhere between 5 and 8 weeks in duration. And basically simple. You sprinkle your yeast and you come back 5 to 8 weeks later, use our equipment and facility to bottle it off. It's a fun little process, all done here right behind me.
So you don't even have to take the kit home and make it yourself. You can come here and have some assistance.
Absolutely. And I look forward to you coming back so I can show you how that's all done.
Yeah. Definitely. And now there's an exciting event that you're having, a wine and food pairing coming up on November 1st.
You betcha. So this basically showcases our limited edition wines of 2018. There's going to be 5 different wines paired with 5 different foods. We have our rep Rick Vandenberg coming out, and he will be our MC for the evening. We're hosting it at the Legacy Center. Tickets are now available. They sell out quickly, and they're $25 each.
That does sound like a really fun evening and tasting both a bunch of different foods. I had to look through them, and there was a different variety of things for all taste buds, and then try out a bunch of different wines. Well, thank you so much for that, Nicole. And right now, we're going to head back over to the studio and check in with them to find out what's going on in weather.
Thank you so much, Brittany. It's still nice out there if you do want to take part in Sip and Save, or not Sip and Save, Sip and Savor rather. Beautiful night to check it out. Look at this shot though. This was from downtown Vermilion, blue skies earlier today. This was sent in to us by Tanya. Like always, do send us your photos of the weather. We'd love to showcase them here on Primetime Local News. Looking at our regional overview, 5 degrees here in the border city, 4 in North Battleford, same within Cold Lake. A little bit warmer in Wainwright, sitting at 6, and then a 4 in Bonnyville. These are our overnight lows for tonight, but factor in the wind, it is going to feel much cooler. And then tomorrow, basically 7, 8 in Wainwright, and then again a 7 in Bonnyville. As I return to our current temperatures across the map here, 5 in Peace River, 7 in Grand Prairie, 2 in Fort McMurray, and then a little bit cooler as we move up north, only a 1 degree in Fort Chipewyan. These are our watches and warnings. Everywhere in blue, which is basically your entire screen, is currently under a frost advisory. And like I said, that wind chill will factor in tonight, making it feel more like -9 in most of the areas. Looking to our current temperatures, here, 7 in Edmonton, 8 in Whitecourt, 6 in Athabasca, 1 in Prince Albert, and also in Melfort, 3 in Saskatoon. And as we move a little bit down south, 4 in Banff and Calgary, 8 in Coronation, 7 in Kindersley, and currently 6 degrees in Regina. Looking to our numbers for tomorrow, mostly 7s as we look on the western part of the map here. 7 in Edmonton, same with Vegreville, Bonnyville, St. Paul, Cold Lake, Lac La Biche, Pierceland, Lloyd, Maidstone, North Battleford, all sitting at 7. A little bit warmer in Provost and Macklin, only 8 degrees, and then cooler up north. As we look to our school day forecast, going to be only 0 degrees at 8 a.m. And do factor in that wind a little bit. It is going to feel nippy out there. We do have some cloud cover that is going to follow in throughout the weekend into the early parts of next week. Recess going to be 2 degrees. Lunchtime, only a high of 5, and then warming up to 6 degrees when you head home. Friday, high of only 7, -2 for your low. That cloud cover is going to continue in until Monday, and we could see an Arctic air come through the region, which means It's going to be chilly. 3 degrees on Saturday. Sunday, also 3 degrees, -7 for the low there on Sunday. Monday, 4 degrees, -3 for your low. And then on Tuesday, 5 degrees for the high. Little bit of sunshine there, at least more than we're going to be seeing in the first part of the week. -5 for your low there. Wednesday, a high of 8, so a little bit warmer than we're seeing throughout the week. And then -3 for your low. Thursday, a high of only 2 and 1 degree for your low. All right, well, I think it's safe to say Canadian Tire won the internet today. There's a day for everything, you know, especially now that social media is a thing. It seems like there's a National Coffee Day, a National Pet Day. There's like 14 National Cat Days, which, you know, I'm not complaining about. But today in Canada is National Gary Day. Yep, National Gary Day. I would encourage you to go onto Canadian Tire's Twitter because they killed it with this social media. They're posting pictures of Garys. They're saying honk if you know a Gary. I think it's fun when you know, we can see companies, you know, join in on the social media fun, and you know, places like Denny's, or you know, they like to interact. What kind of day would you like to see?
I'd like to say a straight Gary Busey day. So skip the Garys, go straight to Gary Busey and have nothing but pictures of Gary Busey at his craziest, his wackiest, and his most fun. If any of you don't know, Gary Busey is an actor who was largely popular in the 80s, 90s, and looks like a crazy person in the best way possible.
All right, and Connor, what kind of day would you like to see? National?
Oh, I don't know. That's a tough one, actually. I know there's a National Pasta Day, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Are we gonna go down that route?
Maybe, and it's nice to not be ridiculed on a day when we're celebrating pasta, but...
You're really not gonna say National Fortnite Day?
Well,
you missed that opportunity.
Yeah, but I don't want to get too deep into that.
Okay, yeah. Well, we'll leave it there. Let us know what kind of day you would like to see, or if you're Gary, happy National Gary Day to you. You know, Canadian Tire says you still have time to get down there for some gifts for the Gary in your life. But now we're gonna get to the pets in your life. My favorite part of the day. It is Pet of the Day. Here is Wyatt, and Wyatt likes to cruise down on his Harley, and this was sent in by Clarice. This one is Chief and Ophelia, super cute. I love when cats and dogs get along, and this was sent to us by Suzanne on
Chief's
Facebook.
a cute looking cat.
Really is, yeah. No, Chief is
which?
Chief is the dog.
That was the joke.
Oh.
My sense of humor doesn't work for this show.
Nope, I didn't get it. Thank you, Josh. This one's Mika. This one's super cute. I think we should frame that and put it up in the newsroom. That was sent to us by Angie. And then this one, I accidentally got the names mixed up here. So this is actually Jimmy the cat, sent to us by Natasha. Super cute. Looks like a very professional shot. Looks like, yeah, Jimmy was having an adventure, and then snapped this beautiful photo. And then last but not least, this is Pepper, and this was sent to us by Crystal. And Pepper's ready for a day of work. Look at that tie. He's a good boy.
We could always use some interns.
Yes, Pepper, if you would like to be our news hound here, we're taking applications. We'd love to have you here in our newsroom. Super cute. Like always, do send us your Pet of the Day photos on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, or even by email. And you can be entered to win a Pet Pad gift card. And we will be drawing that live on the air tomorrow. So do make sure you tune in to the Pet of the Day segment on tomorrow during the 6 o'clock hour. We will be making that draw. So good luck to you, and keep those pet photos coming.
We want to see your pets. Send photos of your pet and their name to our Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram to have them featured on Pet of the Day. Your name will be entered into a weekly draw for a gift certificate from the Pet Pad.
The The Lloydminster Concert Series kicks off tomorrow at the Vic Juba Theatre with the Everly Brothers Experience featuring the Zmed Brothers as the first event. I had a chance to speak with both Dylan and Zachary Zmed ahead of the event.
My brother and I, we've been singing together for about 8 years now, and this particular show that we put together honoring the Everlys is 2 years old, and we're honoring the music, we're honoring the history. It's been an amazing way for Dylan and I to learn how to live together as brothers on the road. It's been an amazing learning experience. But what people can expect is a very history-forward show. Honestly, going through chronologically going through the Everly's catalog, just to some extent, and giving a lot of historical information that a lot of people don't know, just about how important they were and how unique their place was. Basically, bringing together a beautiful blend of country music and rhythm and blues and pop music, pioneering, being one of the pioneers of rock and roll. So that's generally what they can expect. A tight little rock and roll band. We've got a 3-piece band behind us, the Bird Dogs, and we try and have fun with it. Dylan and I also do. They can expect some comedy, so we have our little Smothers Brothers-esque routine as well that people can kind of look forward to.
We looked 2.5, 3 years ago out there, like, is anyone doing a show like this in the way that we would like to do it? And no one really was, where it's more about the time that we're in now and what this history means to us as brothers, So we're trying to tell a bit more of a personal story and honor the aesthetics of their music through our own brotherhood and stuff. As opposed, it's just, we feel like it would be a disservice for us to do an impersonation. We don't even look like them either, so there's no point in that. No point in pretending in that regard. But yeah, another thing to mention, we also, our partner, the co-founder of this project, his name is Burley Drummond, and he's the drummer in the band as well. So the three of us have really been putting our hearts and souls into just letting the show grow organically and educating ourselves to the furthest extent to make it an authentic experience.
I've always been dedicated to writing my own music, and Dylan and I, we were playing gigs around Los Angeles, which is where we were brought up. We were playing 4 or 5 nights a week at different clubs and bars, and we would play 4-hour-long gigs, and half of that would be original material and half of it would be covers, and we were always looking for great 2-part harmony. So that ended up including not just the Beatles and the Kinks and Simon and Garfunkel and Crosby, Stills and Nash and Young, but the Everly Brothers. We always threw Everly Brothers songs in, and we kept noticing that people our own age were coming up to us after we'd play an Everly Brothers song, and they'd say, "I love that song. Who is it?" And that made us realize that there's a void in consciousness about their unique place in American music history. And it was at that time that we looked online to see if anyone was doing a show that told their story, not just playing their songs. I mean, people can play their songs, but we're really trying to tell a story. That's the important part here. And we noticed no one really was. So that's where it came from. It just kind of happened. And Dylan and I, since we're brothers, I sing lower harmony, Dylan sings the higher harmony, and it just naturally worked out that way.
The Vic Juba Community Theatre is a busy place these days. On stage tonight, the Crash Test Dummies, and tomorrow night you can see the Everly Brothers Experience. And this features the Zmed Brothers. And the Everly Brothers, they were inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame and also the Country Music Hall of Fame. And they had huge hits like Bye Bye Love and Wake Up Little Susie. If you want to get your tickets, stop by the Vic Juba Community Theatre box office, or you can go online, vicjubatheatre.ca. It's Culture Days this weekend, and there's so many different activities you can check out at the Lloydminster Cultural and Science Centre starting tomorrow evening. A chance for you to do yoga and also marshmallow roasting in Weaver Park. And then on Saturday, activities start at 10 at the Lloydminster Cultural and Science Centre. A chance for you to do some painting, a chance for you to see different cultural performances, different dances, and a chance to do some crafts, among other things they have planned as well. If you want to get more details, you can always just stop by the Lloydminster Cultural and Science Centre. This week, you have a chance to win a copy of the album that is sitting at #1 on the charts. It's the brand new one from Carrie Underwood, Cry Pretty. It includes the title track and her brand new single, Love Wins. If you want a copy, it's really easy. All you have to do is email your name and daytime phone number to tvcontests@newcap.ca. And we want to say thanks to John at Universal Music Canada for setting us up with the music. And coming up on Sunday, Fort Pitt is hosting their fall supper. They'll be serving up from 4:30 until 6:30 at the Fort Pitt Hall. Well, whatever you choose to do this weekend, I hope you have a great one. I'm Heather Klegus, and that's what's happening.
Furniture set and design supplied by Furniture Gallery and Furniture House, downtown Lloydminster.
I'm here at Wayside Dental, and today Dr. Neki Jamal is here to talk to us a little bit about Halloween candy. It's that time of year. It's out in stores, and now it's ending up on our countertops and soon in our kids' candy bags. So what are we looking at this year? Is there a dreaded candy that's coming out that dentists are anxiously not wanting to see?
Well, candy's candy. Unfortunately, all of it has sugar. A lot of it's sticky, and a lot of it causes dental problems.
So it's inevitable. Kids are going to get Halloween candy. What should we be doing to try to protect their teeth?
Yeah, it's important to note that we're never saying don't eat candy and don't give out candy. It's eating candy in moderation. That's the important part. We all eat candy, including myself. We just don't need to be eating it all day, every day for a couple weeks past Halloween.
And if you are indulging in some Halloween candy, both kids and adults need to make sure that they're brushing their teeth.
Absolutely, we need to brush our teeth every morning and every night, especially if we're going to be eating this much candy. Make sure we're getting floss between our teeth. It's important to note, most adults will go through their kids' candy bags, and they'll also eat whatever's left over from whatever you don't give out. And all the sticky, chewy candies can remove caps and crowns on kids and adults as well. So it's important to realize what you're getting into there.
And is there a particular age that you should be, helping your kids brush their teeth to ensure that they actually are brushing them properly?
Absolutely. So instead of going by age, we go by dexterity. So if your kid can tie their own shoes, usually they're able to brush their teeth really well. But if your kids can't tie their own shoes yet, I encourage all parents to brush their teeth, and even if they can tie their own shoes, it's nice to have the parents go in there after and just give it up once over and make sure that they've gotten all the plaque and bad stuff off your teeth.
And there are some different things that if you are trying to look to not give out candy, you can give some different things, and you have some great ideas.
Absolutely, absolutely. We don't always have to give out sugar. We can give out pretzels and chips. But also we can veer away from food, period, and we can give out like toys. We can give out slime and yo-yos and pencils and fun Halloween like eye patches, and so you can really have fun with it. You don't have to give out candy, and you can be the unique person on your block and give out something cool.
And now, what do you give out? Do you give out a toothbrush?
Oh man, it's put me on the spot on that one. I should be giving out toothbrushes, shouldn't I?
You should.
Yeah.
That used to be my favorite as a kid to get in my bag. Oh yeah.
I feel like I get an egg at my house if I was giving out toothbrush.
Now here at Wayside we have a special candy turn-in program. So you're collecting Halloween candy if kids are willing to give it up.
Absolutely, and it's been huge. We've been running it for about the last 5 years, and every year it gets bigger and bigger and bigger. And you don't have to be patients of our office to join in. And so what you do is for every pound of candy that you bring in after Halloween, we basically give you a name in the draw to get to win an iPad. And so you'll find some kids will bring in 5-7 pounds of candy and they get 7 draws in to win a couple iPads, and it's just been such a huge project.
And now you said the candy is actually then gets picked up by the armed forces?
Yeah, and so we didn't know what to do with the candy initially when we started. We don't want to eat it all, of course, and so we can't throw it away either, even though it's not healthy. And so we found it'd be really interesting to get the candy to someone who may not always get candy. And so we gave it to the armed forces that come from Cold Lake, and they come pick it up and they actually give it, they make little care packages and they send it to troops overseas. And so it's been a cool project that way.
Well, thank you so much for sharing all that information with us, and hopefully we can keep everyone's teeth cavity free this Halloween. So thanks so much for joining us, Dr. Jamal.
Thank you very much.
Sip and Savor is running tonight until 10 p.m. There are a few businesses that are closing at a few varying times, but the event officially wraps up tonight a little bit later. It is a little bit cool out, but if you toss on a jacket and a pair of mitts, you'll be good to go to walk the streets of downtown Lloydminster. So thank you so much for joining me on my adventure tonight. And tomorrow night, our Josh Ryan is going to be live at the Battle of the Border City at the football game between Lloyd Comp and Holy Rosary. So tune in tomorrow to hear a little bit more about all the action that's going on in our hometown. Right now, we're just going to head back over to the studio and check in with the weather.
All right, thank you, Brittany. And yeah, you do still have some time to head on out there for Sip and Savor. Definitely, it's warmer than we've seen it, at least, and the sun is still out there for a little bit. Tomorrow, only going to be a high of 7 throughout the day, -2 for your low. So if you are going to be checking out that game, definitely bundle up. Saturday, only a high of 3, -3 for your low, and that's the same on Sunday, but -7 for the low. Monday's cloud cover is going to continue. We are going to possibly see an Arctic air through the region, which means it's going to feel chilly. -3 for the low on Monday. Tuesday, 5 for your high, -5 for your low. Wednesday, a high of 8, -3, and then Thursday, back to the cloud cover, 2 degrees and 1 for your low. And Lloydminster and basically most of Saskatchewan, eastern and western Alberta are currently under a frost advisory, so do keep that in mind. And with the wind, it is going to feel much cooler overnight. And yeah, Josh Ryan Sports is headed to the game tomorrow, so you're going to have to bundle up, but we're really looking forward to that.
I will. I've bought new gloves,
Ooh.
so my hands will at least be warm.
Any predictions? Putting you on the spot.
Yeah. I'm going to say I'm going to give the home team the edge by a touchdown.
Okay, and who won last year?
This meeting was the Bobcats, but the league championship was the Raiders.
All right, well, we look forward to that.
Fair
Thank you so much for joining us. We'll see you tomorrow. Take care.